When Deloitte approached us last year to challenge us really to do a low waste event, we were really excited. We were really excited about that opportunity. We are on the journey in the event and hospitality space, but Deloitte pushed us, gave us a little nudge and said, can you do it? And we said, yes, we can.
We do have to be mindful that the more we put on our suppliers in terms of reporting, it always comes at a cost. And that's the cost side we have to be mindful of. But if we just look at it as a cost, we're going to miss an opportunity. And so we have to turn that around and think about the value that comes from it. And this is where you start to think about procurement in a different way.
We sat down with the staff and we said, look, how do you feel about waste? What do you think about this? What do you think about what's going to landfill? And we went to the kitchen and we looked at the bins and said, this is going to landfill. This is a small event. So we can multiply this, all this food waste, by 200 covers. And they went, wow, okay, let's do it. So they were part of the process and I said, okay, this is how I think the bins need to be set up. Does it make sense for you? Let's practice. So we made a few changes and they were able to influence that change and be part of the solution. And I think if you want to bring people on the journey to sustainability, they need to be part of the solution. It needs to be meaningful, and as human beings, we need that emotional context. And after the event, we felt really good. We felt so good because everything, even the vessels that we served the food in, went straight into compost. So we reduced our overall waste for that event by 80%.
And then following the event, we went back and looked at the carbon emissions related to that, and we went and offset that. So yeah, there's been like a really great opportunity to work with Villa Maria in that sense and actually have this very positive relationship that's created some very tangible outcomes when it comes to emissions and also waste. And the interesting thing as a result of that development of that relationship is that we've also been able to go to Villa Maria with our draft version of our supplier code of conduct and put it on the table and say, hey, how's this going to affect you? What do you think about this? We know that you're also really working hard on this sustainability journey. So what can we learn from you? What can you bring to that table as well?
I believe the implications for Deloitte in the future will be a time and resourcing issue. There's going to be cost associated with that in terms of having additional resource within the procurement team. We've set in motion a supplier code of conduct that we will need to manage, and to manage it effectively with the responsibility and care that we need will take time. And I believe that will have an implication for Deloitte, but I believe it's one that we're prepared to make, so I don't see it as being a huge problem.
I think the greater concern is if we don't do it. And so the implications then are all positive in that sense, right? We can now hold ourselves to account to our own standards as it relates to sustainability. We can recruit with authenticity because we care about it, and we can go and talk to our clients and say, we understand who you want to work with, and we are a company who also meets your values as it relates to sustainability. If you think about it, if we weren't doing this, the implications would be greater because we run the risk of not being able to recruit on that basis and not being able to serve our clients who have that expectation on us. So we should change the framing to not about being a burden, but being about a cost if we don't actually do it.
The advice that I would give to organisations that want to go on this journey would be to start with a conversation. Align some goals, make them practical, understand there may be a cost to the business, but keep it practical. Start with a conversation.